it's April and welcome to Snapdragon Hollow. And I thought I would start with everything I got at the doll show. I haven't shared a doll show haul in quite some time. Probably at least a couple of years. I do go to the Portland Doll Show twice a year. It's out by the Portland airport and I look forward to it in the spring and the fall. It's neat to see the different vendors. Usually I only bring home a couple of pieces. Because I go every 6 months, I usually only bring home 1 or 2 items to add to my various collections. My doll collections and vintage collections, things like that. But this time I really scored. There were some new vendors there selling a lot of the things that I very specifically loved. I got some things that have been on my list for quite some time, as well as a few impulse purchases that I'll share with you. And finally, there were a good amount of dollhouse miniatures at this sale, which I was so excited about. So I am eager to share with you everything that I got at the Portland Doll Show this past weekend. And also on my way home, I decided to run into Miniso and look for a couple of their Halloween items that I had seen online. It had been a bit of time since I'd been into Miniso, and as it happened, there was a very neat pop-up shop, a Miniso pop-up in my local mall, and I was able to find the Halloween treats I wanted, and I'll share a couple pictures of that too. So it was definitely a fun day of doll collecting this past weekend. So let's go ahead and get into all of the goodies that I got here at the Portland Doll Show. I usually have a rule to tour the entire doll show, walk through all the tables before I start making purchases. The items here in this bag were one of the first things that I looked at, and I did obey my rule. I left it until the very end, so it ended up being the first thing I saw and the last thing I purchased, so I'll save that till the end as well. But I quickly broke my rule when I found a new vendor there who was selling dollhouse furniture, these 1970s dolls here, and I bought a bunch of wonderful items from her shop. I'm super excited about that. So the first thing I picked up at her shop were these Rosebud dolls by Mattel. I had this one as a little girl. Either my grandma had it or I had it, but I played with this doll very specifically. And for a 1976 doll, this packaging here is just in amazing condition. You can see that each little doll is named after a miniature rose. And so I've got a couple here. They had 2. I purchased both of them that she had, and I was just so excited. I'd forgotten all about this doll. So when I saw it, it just unlocked some core memories there. So Rosebud by Mattel, you can see her cute little dress and her adorable face. This almost looks like a precursor to a Kelly doll. Very similar to that, but you can see that this is 1976 here. This also says 1977, so somewhere between, 1976 and 77. They have a baby darling rose, a baby golden star rose, a scarlet gem rose, a lavender lace rose, a baby white star rose, and a pink heather rose. And let's see, we've got this one here, which is a baby golden star rose. And like I said, this is the actual doll that I played with as a child, so I very much remembered her. I didn't remember this one. I didn't have this one, but I was very happy to add her in. I love her cute little chubby cheeks and her blue eyes and her brown hair and her pretty lacy dress. Let's see, I think that one might be a scarlet gem rose here. I think that that's what this one is, a scarlet gem rose. So absolutely adorable little dolls here. For now, I'm going to keep them in their boxes because they are in such pristine condition. So yes, I won't be unboxing these right away. I love the boxes. There's a little damage on this box here, you can see. But overall, they're just in stunning condition. So that was a really great thing to find. Then she had a bunch of dollhouse miniatures. I actually had to just pick out a few so that I would stick with my budget. I could have purchased a lot more. She had furniture and baskets just full of miniatures. So I'll share with you the things that I picked out. I got this cute little cat rocking chair here, which I just think is really cute. That'll be a fun one. I really, really am eager to get back into my dollhouse and some other miniatures projects. This chair caught my eye. It's just made out of the thinnest wood, so I'll have to be really, really careful with it. Probably put it up a little higher. I don't think this will withstand my grandkiddos right now, so this is probably going to have to go in a shadow box with one of my small dolls, but I do think that this is just so uniquely shaped here. So that little chair there, and it was only $2. It was like $2 for these items, which I think was great. A little high chair. I do have a high chair, and I'll have to check the scale difference. I have a very similar high chair in my main dollhouse. You can see they're a little dusty. I'll have to clean everything, but that's totally fine. And you can see that the tray lifts up, so you can put your little doll in there. And yeah, again, I'll have to check scale. This one is obviously a really smaller scale, but I just loved them. And then this piece here, this beautiful blue cabinet. My dollhouse is made in a cabinet that just happens to also be blue. So I definitely gravitated towards this one and thought it was really beautiful. The drawers open up here. So again, that'll be fun to clean up and put in the dollhouse. In the miniatures bins, a lot of the miniatures were really similar to the ones that I already had, but I didn't have any little dog like these 3 dogs that I spotted. Spotted one first. I don't think it was this one, but spotted one dog, and then I looked through and found all the others. This little dog here, which is just so adorable. I know my grandkids will enjoy having little dogs in the dollhouse. I think this is the dog that I saw first. That little cute, adorable dog sitting up there with its little floppy ears. Yeah, that one was the one I initially spotted and knew I wanted to have. You can see these were only $2 a piece, which I think is a great deal. And here we have this one here kind of looking down like this, ready to play. So just a cute little trio of adorable little dollhouse dogs there. And I wasn't done at her booth yet. I found a little kittle. I'm always on the lookout for an additional little kittle to add to my collection. I feel like I may already have this little kittle, but this one was in such good condition. Her whole booth was just, all the dolls were in wonderful condition for their age. So this little one, I did pay $15 for that. It's about the price of most of the kittles, if not higher, at this particular show. But again, I love buying them in person because you can really assess their condition, a lot better. I do purchase on eBay as well, but again, I love finding these things in person so I can really assess the condition. And then the final thing I bought at her booth, I kind of went back and forth. It was a little pricey. I was trying to stick to a budget here, but I spotted these Dawn dolls, and Dawn dolls have been on my list for quite some time to add to my vintage collection here. Dawn dolls are from the 1970s, so that's the era that I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and love the dolls. I don't know that I had any Dawn dolls. I know my grandma had a few. I do remember playing with them. I mention my grandma a lot because she was an avid doll collector. So when we went to her house, there were, a large number of dolls for us to interact with and play with. She also designed dresses for Barbies that were just stunning. One day I'll have to get out my original doll clothes that both my mother and my grandmother sewed for me. So yes, but Dawn dolls from the 70s here, a lot of times you'll run into problems with them having some serious vinyl deterioration going on. Sometimes the metal from their legs will come through their vinyl legs in a greenish color. And so they're really oftentimes in really rough condition. And these do definitely have some of the standard Dawn doll problems, but I felt like they were in really great condition. I saw this bag and it didn't have a price on it. So I asked the vendor and she said it's actually part of a 2 bag set here. So then I went and found the other set. This one you can see is a little rougher. She's got some serious discoloration. My daughter had a good craft idea for me for her. But so it was 2 2 bags here, both of the bags here for $40 total, which is actually a very good price. It comes with some of the clothing stands here and some hangers. A lot of the shoes are here, not all of them, but a lot of them, and their clothes and everything. Their hair's in very good condition. So I felt like I kind of went back and forth for quite a while because 40 was a little steep for my budget that day. But I decided that it was better to get them in person than try to seek them out one at a time on eBay. So I did get these. These are my first Dawn dolls. I'm super excited to open these up and get them cleaned up and a little bit more restored perhaps. Although, like I said, they are in really excellent condition. My daughter thought that this one, since it does have a seriously discolored forehead there, that I could turn it into like perhaps an alien, like a Star Trek style alien girl or some fun crafty thing like that, especially with the silver in her outfit. I don't know that I will be able to do that, but I thought that that was a terrific idea. I'm a big fan of the original Star Trek. This definitely has that vibe. So some very fun future doll projects here, and I will have to keep you updated on that. I'm just super happy to have some Dawn dolls in my collection. So that was really exciting, a little bit more than I normally spend, but I just felt that the quality was too good to pass up, and being, again, able to see those in person. So that was really exciting. I've had Dawn dolls on the list for many years, and I'm really happy to have those. By this point, I was really in shopping mode, and I unfortunately for a minute there abandoned my rules. Again, I usually like to look at everything first and really decide on the best purchases so that I'm not overwhelming my house with collectibles. And I spotted this here. It was on the top of someone's display, and this green color is one of my favorite colors. I have never had a doll like this, and I just, for some reason, was drawn to this, and it breaks a few of my collecting rules. One, it was only $8, so that is how much I paid for her, $8. But it broke my rules in that it's got a cloth body, which can sometimes hold some of those older scents. It's got a few little spots of damage that I purchased it too quickly to even really look it over. This was definitely an impulse purchase, but I'm not too sad about it. It's a very interesting doll. It's a Bradley doll from probably the 70s. It could be a little bit before the 70s, but it is most likely from the 70s. It's called a Big Eye doll, and yeah, so I was really interested in that. Mostly just the color drew me right in. I loved her little bobbed hairdo here with, again, that fun green color. I don't know, she was just calling my name, and I made a quick decision. And when I heard that it was just $8, apparently I was in shopping mode at this point, and I just bought her. But again, I'm pretty happy to have such a different doll in my collection. This is not the standard kind of doll that I collect. But it's interesting to learn a little bit about this doll's history, and I will at least keep her for a little while before passing her along. Who knows, she may grow on me even more. This color I just couldn't resist. I really love that chartreuse green color, always calls my name, so I was just immediately drawn to her. I do like the cute little artwork on her face, and her pretty, again, her hair was really cute in her bright green dress. So I got my first Bradley doll as well. After I got her, I decided to look around a little bit more before just rashly purchasing everything I came across. So I slowed down a little bit, which was a good thing. But then I spotted a booth with a ton of Kittles. I bought last year, I think, from the same vendor, a really cute vintage car or tricycle, I think, that will go to a doll like her. Here you can see I'm always drawn to those bright neon colors. So after looking around a little bit, finding that booth with the little Kittles, I found this one. And this is actually, let's see, her name is, she is a 1967 Mattel Little Kittles Skadiddle, and her name is Tracy Trikediddle. And she does come with her little tricycle there. I haven't opened it up to determine condition, but the wagon and everything, this additional piece here, I think that she can stand and walk, if I believe correctly. But again, for a $1967, I thought that she was in phenomenal condition. I, again, love that bright orange neon hair. Think she'll go really well with the vintage Little Kittle trike that I got last year also. She's a little bit bigger than the typical Kittles. I collect her in this price range, and later on you will see one even tinier that I picked up. So again, for $30 in this condition, that is a very good price. But as you can see, I was way over budget on this trip. This definitely I need to go a little easier in the next doll show in the spring. But there were, again, so many vendors that were new and had just everything that I collect. Her eye paint, everything is just such stunning condition. She's got her shoes, her trike, everything. So this was extremely adorable. I'm really happy to add her to my Little Kittles collection. Also at this booth, I found this little pamphlet here. I'll go ahead and open this up today. They had a bunch of them. This was $4. Only picked out one this time. I don't collect a ton of paper. Both my husband and I do have allergies to old paper, so I don't like to collect too much of it. But I had never seen this one with Skipper, Scooter, and Ricky, Junior Edition styles, it says. So I just thought that was so cute, and I was just super excited to look through these adorable images. Wow, so fun. I love this. I think it's really great. You can see all the goodies in this old Barbie thing here. Oh, how fun. Bunk beds and a Skipper party time set. I would love that. A game, Skipper on wheels, Skipper's dream room, and then the new, her new friend Ricky. We've got some adorable clothes for him. I would love a vintage Skipper and Ricky doll. That would be so fun. I think there we have a few more. We've got Barbie, the teenage fashion model, and we've got Midge. I was looking for Midge last year, still haven't found a good Midge. And then we have some vintage Ken and Alan. And here's the back of that with some of the different names of the vintage Mattel Barbie dolls. I'm not seeing a date on this, but I'm guessing 60s perhaps. You can let me know in the comments below. This was a little bit before my era of Mattel, but I, of course, appreciate these vintage dolls so much. So that's a real treat to look through. And then one more piece of paper ephemera. This was at one of the doll booths that had a little bit older ephemera, not necessarily dollhouse related. She had some really cool cards and things. I would have loved to be able to collect more of that. But like I said, we don't collect a ton of paper ephemera just because of allergies. This is a children's menu, and I think it's probably from the 40s or 50s. Union Pacific Overland children's menu, and you can see the images on it. It does say that it could have been a reprint at some point. Still neat though, and you can see the prices here. You can choose your different main dishes here for 45 cents, 60 cents, or 65 cents. This one has orange juice or pureed apricots and applesauce, or a Bartlett pears, cooked or dry cereal, toast, milk, or cocoa. This one has choice of fruit with cereal with cream, poached or coddled egg, toast, and milk or cocoa. I'll have to look up how to make a coddled egg. I know how to make a poached egg, and I've heard of coddled eggs, but I don't remember what that is. And let's see, a choice of fruit, cereal with cream, poached egg with crisp bacon, toast, and milk or cocoa. And then you can get things a la carte for 15 cents. You can get your juice or your pureed prunes or apricots, which is funny. I don't know many children who would want pureed prunes these days, although I think prunes are delicious. Applesauce here, sliced oranges, Bartlett pears, so nice fruit there for just 15 cents. That's just so fun to see. Cereal, you could get your cooked or dry cereal for 15 cents. Pablum, 15 cents, I suppose, if you had a little one with you. And you could get an egg, however you wanted your egg cooked, for 15 cents. So amazing prices there. And I got this largely to show my grandkids, just so they could see some of that. Most of my grandkids are still too young to understand pricing. But my oldest grandson is super into Union Pacific trains, so I wanted him to see some of that advertising. I think all the kids will think this is neat to see. Both my children and my grandchildren will find this bit of history pretty cool. So thought that was really neat. Wanted to bring that home. Had a few of these, which I was very, very excited about. I got 3 from 2 different vendors. These are like the carded toys. Again, definitely before my time. I'm going to go ahead and pause and do a reverse image search so I could see if I could figure out the timeline of these. I would suspect 60s, maybe 50s, probably 60s though. But really, really cool. You can see the little punched card here, the little inexpensive toys for children. I collect some of those carded toys from the 70s and 80s from my era. And when I saw these from an earlier era, I just absolutely loved the graphics there and just the design of it. So I'm going to go ahead and reverse search these real quick, and then I'll come back and we can take a look at these. It looks like this one and maybe this one are partially opened, so we can actually take a look at some of the items inside the little package. Okay, so these are from Grandmother Stover's company, an American miniatures company, a miniature little toys company. They made a bunch of these. I looked on eBay. You can see a ton of different Grandmother Stover's little mini sets like this. I think most of them are like from the mid 60s, something like that. I believe somewhere a little earlier than that and perhaps a little later. So I'm guessing that these 3 are probably mid 60s. So this is timely gifts for the mother-to-be. And I think that this is neat too. I read that a lot of times they would include a little advertising. I don't see much advertising on the 3 I have. So very much like early precursor to a mini brands, for example. So I thought that was a neat little bit of information. Let's see if I can do this without destroying any more of the graphics. Also, I'd like to point out, I will go ahead and leave in the description box below a link to my Snapdragon Hollow Instagram. I've been sharing over there quite a bit more of some of my collections, so you can get oftentimes a sneak peek. I will usually have time to put pictures on Instagram before I have time to film it, so a lot of times you will get a sneak peek at some of my collectibles. I just got a huge lot of vintage Cracker Jacks little prizes, and I do hope to share those here, but right now some of those are showing up on my Instagram. So I also include some of the little activities that my husband and I do. So if you want to take a look at that and see some of those things, I'm able to post just a little bit more often on Instagram these days. So this comes with a little birth certificate, how to get a babysitter. That's adorable. This little teeny tiny cradle. It's really nice. Very cute. These little babies. I have a bunch of these little babies. They were even selling these babies at toy shops in little bins for like $1 when I was a kid. And I know my mother played with them. She would share stories about how she would make little things for her little tiny plastic babies. So it comes with a couple little babies here in the cradle, 2 bottles, which are bigger than the baby. So the scale is kind of a funny little scale, but that's all right. We've got a book that says Our Baby. That's cute, a little miniature book. And then this here, let's see, I don't think it opens up. Yeah, no, I don't think so. A little, I suppose, what is this? Perhaps a luggage bag from when you're coming home from the hospital, or I don't know, maybe this is what diaper bags look like. I don't know. But some fun little miniatures there. Mostly what I loved about this is the amazing packaging there. And then we've got this one here for the new mother. Very similar items here, but a few different ones. Again, I'll show you what those are. It's nice that this one is opened. I don't think the other one's opened. So let's see. We've got a little rattle. And it actually has a little rattle in it. That is totally adorable. Got another bottle. Yeah, these are obviously just like little dime store, you know, toys. I've got a different crib with a different coloration. And in this case, just the one baby. So we've got another little baby. And we've got our Stork brand diapers. That's cute. And another baby book. And See, this says also how to get a babysitter. So very adorable little sets of minis there. And we'll take a look at this one. This one I definitely couldn't pass up. I loved the vintage packaging here. I'm not going to open this one up because it is sealed for now. At some point, I'm not going to be able to resist, however, and you'll either see that on Instagram or here when I do finally break down and crack this open, because the reason I bought it is this little robot. Look at the robot there. It says, do-it-yourself science kit. I'm not sure what exactly you do, but you could use your imagination. I've got a robot here, little monkey to help with in your science lab, I suppose. A couple of bottles and a couple of little measuring cups and mixing bowls and things like that to do your research. So, but the robot is what sold me on this. I could absolutely not pass that up. I love vintage space things quite a bit, and robots and things like this. Kind of reminds me of like the Lost in Space robot or something. So totally cute. So that was, again, another really great find. Okay, so we are on to our last bag now, and then I'll share with you the blind boxes that I got at Miniso on the way home from the Doll Show. Okay, in this bag, I've kept some of my extra little miniatures. Let's see, here's the first thing. This is one of the things I was specifically hunting down. This item here is one of the main things I had on my list when I was there. Of course, I'm always looking for good condition little kittles, but I wanted to add another Frozen Charlotte to my collection. Got a few so far, and I hadn't had a blonde one. So I got her. I think she was perhaps a little bit overpriced. She's a little bit dirty, but really liked that she had blonde. She was $20, which is a lot. And I could have gotten one for a little cheaper online, but I also really do love supporting small business, and this will be a very nice Frozen Charlotte to add to my collection. So these little Frozen Charlotte porcelain dolls are very vintage, so that's the oldest thing I have here today by far. These little dolls were often sold for a penny in the early 1900s, late 1800s, things like that. So this is possibly even 100 years old. I'm not 100% sure on that. There's no way to actually age it. This is just a little teeny tiny bisque doll here. So a Frozen Charlotte. So a new one for my collection, a little bit different than the other ones I have. Some of the ones I have are glazed, and I like those a little bit more. But again, I really wanted one with the blonde hair, and she's just the one I picked this time. I really liked her, and as I've looked some up in the collection, it's not a bad price. So cute little teeny tiny Frozen Charlotte there. And at the last booth that I went to, I'll show you last the item that I saw first, but at her booth I found a couple other things. I'll show you those first. Just this little teeny tiny doll in the little lacy, crochet lacy little outfit. I have a shelf with a few of these dolls on it. She is jointed. I do not know how old she is or anything about her. I just liked her. She was so teeny tiny. You can see she's just barely over an inch little doll here, and I loved her little lace outfit. So very, very cute little doll there. Oh, here's another thing I forgot. This was not from the last vendor. This was from another vendor in there. This is not a doll. They had a bunch of really cute 1970s, 80s stuff, and these are the little rings, little gumball prize rings here, and we've got Fred Flintstone here and the Great Grape Ape. I was eyeing both and trying to decide between the two of them. You can see this one was 7 and this one was 6, and he said I could buy both of them for 10. So I said, okay, fine, I will take them both. I love the Great Grape Ape, and of course Fred Flintstone is a classic, so a couple little of that type of little collectible. And then this was really cool. This is a little kittle here. This is a jewelry kittle in a bracelet. She was sitting out separately, so I could really see the quality there. This piece is in really excellent quality for its age. 1967. There you can see jewelry kittles, Hong Kong, 1967 Mattel. Let's see if I can carefully open this up. Don't want to open and close it too many times, just because it is getting a little older. I want you to see this cute little kittle here. This is the tiniest kittle I have And now I've seen these for a long time and I've always wanted one, but the condition online is a little harder to assess. And she is in great condition. I'll have to move her hair out of her face a little tiny bit, but she is so cute. I just loved her. Her crazy eyeliner there, very 1960s. And then she's got this cute little locket. I had Lucy lockets and little Kittle lockets as a little girl, but I never had one this tiny. I had one more this size. They had larger lockets for that. So this has always been on my list, and I was there at this booth for something else, which I will show you next, but I could not pass this one up either. Again, perfect condition, 1967 little Kittle jewelry there. And here is the last doll that I purchased. This is the first doll that I saw that I wanted there. It is like a nice metal here, pewter type doll. It is it's made to look a little vintagey, but I believe it is modern. It is made in England. It is a hand painted doll from the Mini Maria company in England. This is Goldilocks, and she is jointed. You can see her joints are made of like a little plastic cording here, so that's what leads me to believe it's actually pretty modern. I think this company still produces dolls similar to this. So really cute though. I just loved her scale, and I love that it was Goldilocks. I love little fairy tales and things like that. So this was just adorable to me, and the woman who sold her to me had her in her personal collection for quite some time, and was happy that she was being sold to somebody who enjoyed her as much as she did. So I think she'd fit really cutely in this little chair here on a shadow box. So really, really cute. That was an extra fun thing to purchase. Again, a cute little made in England little pewter doll there, jointed doll. So that is my doll show haul. So many treasures here. I am just happy with everything that I found. It was just so fun. So now I'm going to go ahead and share with you some modern collectibles that I picked up on the way home from Miniso. I was hunting down some of the Halloween items that I'd seen that they had. We kind of clear a spot here. Don't want to lose any of these teeny tiny collectibles. I just love this. Now I really love that it's in this chair. that may have to be her permanent chair. Okay, so they had these Kewpie Halloween dolls that I thought were so cute. I haven't purchased any of the other Kewpie dolls at Miniso. I've been tempted many times. I love this brand, Smoko. They have such cute blind boxes, and if you've seen some of my other blind box openings, you know that I've collected a few other Smoko brand blind boxes. So they were sold out at the first Miniso that I went to in the mall, but then they told me about this pop-up shop that was down at the other end of my mall. I had seen the big signs for it, but I wasn't sure if it was just like a small kiosk or what, but it was a pretty big pop-up shop, and it was really, really neat. I'll go ahead now and include a few pictures of what that pop-up shop looked like. So that's what it looked like. It was so fun, and I was so happy. I found this one first, and then the next one that I was really eager to get, I found that too on a very top shelf. I could barely reach it, but I was so happy to find it. This one's a little squished. I did not notice that. I think that'll be okay though. I'm really hoping for the black cat or the bat. Specifically, I think the bat. I do like this little pumpkin one too though. So yes, we've got a little witch, a jack-o'-lantern Kewpie, a mummy Kewpie, a trick-or-treating Kewpie, a black cat Kewpie, and a bat Kewpie. I have 2 of these boxes. I've been taking a bit of a break, as you may know, from blind boxes. I still have an older video to edit and post, which for a Surprise Toy Saturday, which I'm still really hoping to edit here very, very soon. Here's a little stand. Okay, and we've got our blind box. Let's see which one we get here. Figured I'd open these up now, so it was in time for Halloween. I have a couple other Halloween videos to film. Hopefully I can get that done before Halloween. This is a cute bag. And we have, oh, how lucky. We got the bat. Oh, this will go out in my decor right away. That is totally adorable. This is the one I wanted most. That is so cute. Okay, that's really neat. See, oh, good. That's right. She comes with a stand. I was going to say she is not standing up on her own here. She has an adorable stand, so that will definitely go out right away. Very cute. And let's see the next one I got. Okay, we have our second try. We'll see what one we get. I'll be happy with any of them since I got my favorite one already. This one has a bigger, oh, we've got the pumpkin. It kind of gives it away, doesn't it? Okay, so we must be having this one right here. Let's go ahead and check. And here we have this cute one here, Jack-o'-lantern Cupid. So we've got our adorable little Cupid doll with the little jack-o'-lantern. That is so cute. So very classic Cupid doll look there, very cute and Halloween-y. And then the second blind box that I was after was this Tato one. I love the Tato character from Smoko. My favorite one is the Wild West one, which I've been trying to work on collecting. This has the candy corn Tato, a Frankenstein Tato, a black cat Tato. It's like a cute little potato character. Ghost Tato, a Warlock Tato, and a black skeleton Tato. So let's see, I think I would really love the candy corn. That would be my top favorite, but I actually really think all the rest are really cute. Another bat would be nice. The ghost is super cute too. I have 3 of these to try out because I'm really fond of the Tato character. So I figured I'd give myself 3 tries. And we have this here, cute little witchy Tato here, the Warlock Tato it's called. It's such a solid figure here. Cute little potato witch. That's very cute. And let's see again. I'm still hoping for that. I'm really hoping for that candy corn. Okay. They're so heavy. And we have, oh, we've got the ghost. Oh, the ghost is really adorable. And at least it's got the candy corn on it. Oh, I think that's really cute. And this will look really cute in my Halloween decor. We could set out those 2 together. That's cute. And our last one here, this one feels really big. I don't know which one it'll be. One last chance for the candy corn. But again, I'll be happy with any of these. They're adorable. Okay. Thanks for that candy corn. Oh, we've got a duplicate. We've got 2 little ghosties. I'll have to pass one along. But that is okay. It's so cute. I really do like this little ghosty figure here. Ghost potato. So that was my big fun doll haul for the weekend. A very fun outing for sure. The doll show is something I, again, always look forward to. And I found so many wonderful things here. These Rosebud dolls, my Dawn dolls, and all the dollhouse miniatures and Kittles and all those wonderful things. And then a fun trip to the Miniso Pop Up for some Halloween goodies. So really fun haul here. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at all of the treasures that I've added to my collection this week. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.